Are you listening? Damn.
Back-to-back nights. Feels good, man. The music you just heard was the stylings of Otis McDonald. A lovely little angel. Tonight's show, guys, we have a packed show. We're going to talk about this new Momo trend. I don't know if you've heard this new Momo trend going around, targeting children on YouTube. Classic YouTube, being creepy AF. We're going to talk about this resurrection video that's popped up today about somebody exploiting religion a little bit. We're going to talk about this feller who wants to retire at a Holiday Inn instead of a nursing home. And a North Carolina school threatening to lower grades. Sad. Man, I tell you what, guys. So tonight's one of those nights where it's just a ton of laundry, ton of stuff, real stuff like that. I've been putting it off for like 2 days, and I've been forced to wear like going out jeans to work for the past 2 days. And I've been looking like a straight up twink at work. Like I've been walking around like a peacock, bro. Like strutting my stuff in these tight skinny jeans. And I've been like trying to actively dodge as many people as I can at work because I don't want people to see me walking around like a piece of meat, you know? Let's go ahead and jump straight into this podcast. We're going to jump right into it on a Tuesday. First story. This popped up, man. This is crazy. So there's this new Momo thing going on. And I'm not talking about old Momo FIFA HD, if anybody knows who that is. But old school FIFA streamer or YouTuber. But this thing, man. So apparently I saw it all over my Facebook with a lot of my friends who are parents. And they were posting this image. And I'm sitting here looking at this image, man. I'm sitting here trying to figure out who this Gulfport 9 is. You know, with the beautiful eyes, and she's got that, you know, she's about what we're talking, maybe she looks like a good old fashioned 5 vodka waters. Something like that. Friday night, 5 vodka waters. Whatever. So anyways, so I see all these videos about this chick who is part of the Momo thing where it's like a normal video, and then all of a sudden the video starts telling the kids to do stuff like, hey, do like self-harm, like cut yourself or you know, hurt your brother or whatever. And the whole thing is that they tell the kids, if you don't do it, then this beautiful young thing will show up in the middle of the damn night. And parents are freaking out. And let me tell you this. When I was growing up, we had something a little similar called chain emails, chain messages. You want to talk about ruin your night real damn fast? Is if you got in the middle of a damn chain email right before you went to sleep. I can't tell you how many times I would be chilling on AIM, you know, group chat or whatever, just doing my thing, nothing weird. And all of a sudden I'd see some away message, or I'd see some message with, you know, reply to 450 people with this, or this girl will show up at the end of your bed at 4 a.m. this morning. And I'm sitting here like, man, how the hell am I going to find 450 people to send this damn chain email to? I can't find 450 people to send this to. I've only got 9 friends on my buddy list. I can't send it to them. I'm about to go to sleep. So I know how these kids feel. Because that stuff was super scary. That stuff was really, really scary. And it'd always be some terrifying picture. Way more terrifying than this cute little thing. Way scarier than this thing. I mean, the pictures would be straight up terrifying. And would always be in the coming from the bottom of your bed or staring at you in the middle of the night, and it was always the most impossible challenges ever. But of course, everything evolves, everything evolves. And man, YouTube is such a crazy place. It is such a scary place because it's totally unguarded. It's, like TV at least has advertisers, and at least yeah, there could be some shows like Law and Order or CSI where you might see some kind of scary things, but you know that it's going to be at least framed in a way that's not too bad. YouTube, if you go clicking down the wrong rabbit holes at YouTube, you will uncover the JFK assassination while simultaneously watching Silk Road videos. And there's a lot of creeps on YouTube. There is no way in hell I would let my kids go on YouTube nowadays. No fucking way, until they were much older. And it's so nuts too, because I see kids addicted to YouTube. It is nothing. It is nothing for me to go to a restaurant or just be anywhere in public, and I see kids post up with the video, basically taped to their forehead, and they might as well have just taken a few Xanaxes. They might as well have just hit up a few Benadryls. These kids are zoned in. And I don't blame the parents either, because the parents have probably worked all day. The parents are probably, the parents are probably, they're tired, and they're sitting here with this kid who won't quit, and the only thing that stops the kid from losing his mind is a couple of Sandy Hook conspiracy theory documentaries on YouTube. Who am I to tell the parents not to let their kids see that? If I'm trying to eat dinner and I've had a terrible day at work, and my kid wants to figure out, if how JFK was killed, whatever. Knock yourself out, man. If my kid thinks that 9/11 was an inside job because of a few weird videos hosted by some 55-year-old guy in his parents' basement, go ahead, but just leave me alone for a minute, And it's so hypocritical, I guess, because when I was younger, we had Game Boys, and we had, I was always playing video games or action figures. I was tuned out too. I'm zoned into my action figures and my wrestlers or whatever I had, or my Game Boy, my Pokemon. I'm trying to smack around the Elite Four for the 100th time. But at least that's protected, These YouTube videos, I saw some thumbnails today. On the same subject, and there was videos of Peppa Pig going on murder sprees, but it was normal thumbnails, but not even 5, but 40 seconds into the video, Peppa Pig is going on a rampage, stabbing everybody in the neighborhood. So YouTube, man, it is such a wild place. YouTube is such a bananas and pajamas place. It's brutal. It is absolutely brutal. And then you throw Twitch in there, and you're two clicks away from donating $1,000 to some girl on Twitch who's basically you've basically given your 4 to 5-year-old free tickets to a strip club. It's a terrifying place out there, man. The only thing I would just not use it. I would no way, because I know the inner workings of YouTube and Twitch. No way would I let my kid go on there at all. No way. This girl, actually, I was researching this before the show. This girl has actually nothing to do with the trend. She's just kind of being used as the face for it. This girl is actually was an artist rendering from some artist in Japan, but she's being used for this new Momo trend. So, if you know the old school Momo, then the only thing these kids should be scared about is FIFA coins. Now let's go to the next story. All right, so this one, I'm excited for this one. So this pastor in South Africa, this video is going viral today on social media. Let me pull it up. Let's watch it. Let's watch this thing. All right. Whoa, what? Okay, here we go. All right. So this video right here. See, like this, I have the chat box up, and the chat's just not working. This screen, chat should be working, but it's not, and it's pissing me off. Anyway, so let's watch this video, and then we'll break it down. So this happened today.
The mortuary.
In this viral video, a man dressed in white is seen lying in a coffin. Note his mouth is open. Congregants gather around. Pastor Alf Lukau of the Alleluia Ministries International Church in Johannesburg prays for him.
Hello, Elliot. Elliot. Elliot.
Jesus.
Lift your hands.
Malabos.
Lift your hands.
Lukau lays his hands on the man. Then the alleged deceased sits up and looks around, seemingly surprised at what's happened.
Hey! Hey! Jesus!
The would-be modern-day
So if you haven't figured out what's happening yet, they have staged a resurrection. So these people in South Africa have staged a situation where they are trying to make people believe, and successfully making people believe that this pastor has made this Lazarus fella in the white, he just resurrected him. Resurrected him right there. And people are obviously a little upset today about it. I'm not really sure why they're so upset about it. And then of course, you have the resurrection challenge. Some are taking it more serious than others. And but oh, man, it's so wild. It's so wild. Like, religion is such a
Your hands.
Lukau lays his hands.
I mean, this guy's not even a good actor. The guy in the casket, he's breathing. Like, my man, you only have to be on screen for 40 seconds. You can't hold your breath for 40 seconds. You can't not blink for 40 seconds. This guy's mouth's wide open. He's just breathing all over these people. And the pastor's pissed. The pastor's like, all right, I'm gonna resurrect David, and he's looking down, and David's like snoring. David's actively breathing. God, David, come on, David, you gotta be better than that, man. Then look at him. It's just such a poor acting job. So sad. But people are really this story shouldn't be a surprise, and it shouldn't be. It's obviously ridiculous just because he's trying to pass off resurrecting a guy and not doing a good job of it at all. But it's a lot like the televangelist and Miss Cleo's, and people want to believe in anything, not just religion, but they just want to believe. Like Miss Cleo, a lot of the time, was selling reassurance. People were just begging to hear someone say that things were going to be okay. People were just begging to hear that their financial problems were going to work out, begging to hear that their marriage was going to work out, begging to hear somebody say, you know what, you are going to make it through this. And that's what people paid Miss Cleo for. They didn't think Miss Cleo was actually a Jamaican shaman who could talk to the dead, who could talk to the next level. They thought Miss Cleo was some random woman from the Bronx who may be able to give them a little bit of a boost. And if they had to pay $29.99 per minute to do it, they would. These televangelists, and I don't want to go on like a Joel Osteen rant. I'm sure we'll have a Joel Osteen rant at some point in this show. But these televangelists, people aren't buying the religion they're selling. They're just buying the voice. They're just buying the sounds. They just want to connect. I remember when I was younger, one of my neighbors, like down the street, was this old lady with dementia, And she used to, I mean, she was insane. Like, she used to wear sunglasses inside because she said that the people outside were like looking at her. She was nuts. And she used to order stuff from QVC, and she would watch QVC 24/7. And she said she liked it because she felt like the people were talking to him, and that was it, you know. And so some people are out there, man. Let me tell this other story, by the way. I meant to say this at the beginning of the show. So where I live right now, this other story was this guy, this homeless guy, and he's being alleged that he killed someone with a machete. And I'm not going to show like his picture. I'm not going to show any of that stuff because it all came out today, and who knows what actually happened, you know. But allegedly he went all hack and slash at this homeless camp. So I read the story just briefly, and I realized that I was at that exact same homeless camp when I worked as a newspaper reporter. And let me tell you this. I have never been so scared as when I was at that homeless camp. And let me tell you why. If you've never been to a homeless camp, then, well, you're doing good. Don't go to a homeless camp. They're not a public place. They shouldn't be. But we were doing a story. It was me and my photographer. And we were doing a story on this like food shelter. So we're at the food shelter, and man, I did not care at all when I was a reporter. When you're a reporter, if you're not super nosy, if you're not just like an inherently nosy person, you're not going to like being a reporter. Because being a reporter is all about asking hard questions and being up in everybody's business. Me, I'm not interested in anyone else's problems. I'm not interested in what these homeless people are doing. I'm not interested in what they're eating, how they're living, how they're washing. I just don't care, you know? I wouldn't want someone coming into my house asking me questions. So anyways, we go to this food shelter, and I'm chilling, you know what I mean? I'm just maxing and relaxing. And I'm with this photographer who's a true journalist. This guy wants to get to the bottom of every story. He feels like what we're doing is solving the world's problems. Newsflash, it ain't. So we're at the food shelter, and this group of homeless people, they invite us to their homeless camp. And I quickly am like, no thanks. I'm good. I'm going to go home. I'm going to go get some lunch. Photographer is thinking we're going to get some great photos, intimate. Like he's like Jane Goodall, right? He's like Jane Goodall trying to get into the chimpanzee like hive. He's trying to get inside with the chimps. I am not. I have seen the issue. I have seen that these chimps, there's no telling what can happen if we go too deep into the nest. So we go. I think we're in his car, and we go out into the woods where this exact camp. I could go there right now. I know exactly where it is. I can still see it. And we duck off. It's by a railroad track, and we duck off past these big ass trees, past the railroad track, back into the brush. I'm wearing khaki pants and loafers. He's a 60-year-old white guy. Glasses, hat, camera, giant lens. Lens alone probably costs $2,000, $3,000. We've got a car. We both have money. Well, we both have like wallets and whatever on us. And now we are totally isolated from the rest of the universe. And I think we both I had realized it walking up there. But then I think he realized it when we got to this camp murder, allegedly. And we realized like, oh no. You know, we have phones, we have iPhones, we have like all this stuff. And we're sitting here like, uh-oh. What is stopping these dudes from going straight Walking Dead and just eating, like ripping us apart, eating us, taking all of our stuff, throwing, like these homeless people, they don't think like normal people at these camps because they're at these camps, right? They're not sitting here thinking like, oh man, I hope I don't get caught for murder, for robbing this dude and taking his money and going to get some food. Wow, because then I'd have to leave my railroad property. I had to quit living in this tent. You know, they don't care. So I kind of look at the photographer like, hey dog, get me the hell out of here. And he's like, no, they're fine. These people are fine. These people, they don't have any rules, man. They don't have any rules at these homeless camps. And I've got nothing against homeless people. People fall on hard times all the time. But these camps, it's a whole different damn world. And when I saw this story about the machete and this guy axed to this other dude, allegedly, that could have been me, man. That could have been me. All right, let's go to the next story here. Let's go to the next story. So the next story, this feller, this guy, well, I don't know if we have a picture of the guy. Oh, yeah, we do. This guy. How could I forget that photo? This guy has gone viral for his plan to retire to a Holiday Inn instead of a nursing home to save costs. So a Texas man is planning to spend his retirement years at Holiday Inns nationwide instead of moving into a nursing home in an effort to cut costs. This feller out of Spring, Texas, listed his reasons for spending his golden years as a customer of the hotel chain. So the average cost of a nursing home can amount to $188 per day. He said that he can do, with a combined long-term stay discount and senior discount, he can do it for $59.23 a night. So we're talking about, a three times more to stay at a nursing home. Where, nursing homes you're not guaranteed to have great care, to be honest, as sad as that is. At a Holiday Inn, you're pretty much guaranteed to have great care. At a hotel, you're pretty much guaranteed to have fantastic care. And like this guy even says, they treat you like a customer, not a patient. That's so true. That's so true. I think this is genius. I think this is absolutely genius. Whenever I first got out of college and I was thinking about like where I was going to live and what I was going to do, one of the first things I thought of, I was like, man, why don't I just move into a hotel? I quickly realized that would not work. But I was thinking, if I can just find some cheap long-term hotel, people, room service for free, continental breakfast every morning, security, parking, we're all good. I have always, for whatever reason, some people hate hotels. Some people hate hotels. Some people hate any public sleeping area like that. I love them. I love hotels. For some reason, I really enjoy like the 24-hour something. It makes me very secure knowing that people are there 24/7. Like people are working 24/7. Like the lights never technically go out. The lights in your room might go out, but the lights in the hallway are on. The elevators are working. There's someone at the front desk. There's like valet people running around. There's probably cleaning staff running around. There's usually like a 24/7 gym. There's a pool. There's activity. And for some reason, that always kind of comforted me when I was at a hotel. Like I've always slept really good at hotels. I've always, I've just always enjoyed them. I've gotten some great sleep at hotels, and I have no idea why. No clue why. So I'm all in with this guy. The idea to just be at a Holiday Inn, and especially if I was a senior citizen. Don't get it twisted. These senior living retirement homes, you are a patient. You're supposed to be getting this like next level comfort, like this next level people taking care of you, but that's just not the case. You will get taken care of much better by you will get taken much better. Now that I'm looking at this picture, I don't know if this is the actual guy. I think this may just be a picture, like a weird picture. I'm not even sure who put this up here, but I'm starting to think this isn't the actual guy, because I'm not sure what being naked has to do with living at a Holiday Inn. Maybe this is the guy. I don't know. I don't know how this happened, but I would be all about it, 100%. I would be all about it, man. If I could, if you told me that I could live in a Holiday Inn, if you told me I'm not even in retirement, I'm not even 30. If you told me I could move into a Holiday Inn for 3 times cheaper than living at my house, Oh, 100%. I'd move into a Holiday Inn in a heartbeat. I'd be eating, just the continental breakfast is worth it. Just being able to wake up, walk downstairs or elevator downstairs, getting that continental breakfast, get that waffle maker, do that little waffle maker action. Oh, house down a few boiled eggs. Whew. Damn. I'd be feeling good. Let's go to the next story. Let's get this guy off my screen. So the next story is about North Carolina. So North Carolina, the North Carolina General Assembly announced this week they're considering a bill that would adjust the grading scale used to grade state public schools. Now, how about this? An A would be 100 to 85 is an A. All right, when I went to high school, a 93 was the cutoff for an A. It was 100 to 93. A B is 84 to 70. When I was in high school, a 70 was a D. Anything below a 70 was an F. A 69 to a 55% is a C. And a 54 to a 40 is a D. And then anything below a 40 is a fail, is an F. Now, this is just a straight up, this is a straight up bill. People are just kind of talking about this right now. But, whoo, this is rough. I mean, if you get a 40 on a test, if you get a 41 on a test, you have failed miserably in my world. A 40 on a test, that is so bad. And a 41 they're saying is passing. Imagine passing high school with C's and you made a 56 on every single test you took. That is crazy to me. And I mean, this is never going to happen, obviously, because it's so outrageous. But but also when I think about it, the last thing that is indicative of like your success or indicative of how smart you are is high school grades. High school grades could not be any more of a sham. The stuff that all it is, every class is the same thing. It's just memorization. Every class is just memorizing. That's it. It's just straight up memorizing. And if you don't, so the grades are 40%. It's a percent scale. So if you make 100, then you get 100% correct. If you make an 85, you get 85% of the test correct. A 60% of the test correct, so on and so forth. But high school and high school classes now, I think, are so outdated, the way that they're taught and the way that and what they're teaching. Everything is so fast in life now, and people and kids, specifically teenagers, have so much power at their fingertips with information and their phones and all that. I think the curriculum has to change. I think the curriculum has to be molded a little bit. And I'm not sure what the answer is. I'm not really sure because I'm not a teacher. I'm not in that world. But everything, just from grammar or like writing, stuff like that, like teaching cursive writing, that is a total waste of brain power. Total waste of brain power. If you take out my signature, I have no clue how much cursive I've used in the past 20 years. No idea. Probably none, if I had to guess. Probably none. I don't even know if I can do the letters that aren't in my name. I can do the letters in my name because of my signature, but I don't know if I can do like a G. I don't think I can do a capital cursive G. Math, almost all of the math that you're going to need to do, you can do on your phone or on a computer. There are programs. I mean, it sounds bad, but there's a lot of the times where if I want to know the percentage of something, I'll Google what the like percentage calculator, and you can find a website like this that will do the percentage for you. So as weird as this grading scale thing is, you know, I think they may just need to rethink the entire idea of schooling before people just kind of pass it on by. All right, let's go to the phones, man. Let's go to the phones. That's what we'll call them.
USA.
Let's go to the phones. See what's happening. We got a video sent in, and this has to do with the televangelists, or the people
Round one. Fight.
people paying for stuff. Oh yeah, see, this is a good example. This is a good example of a televangelist doing stuff and people just kind of buying into it. Like these people aren't buying into this as much as they're just buying into being a part of something. You know, they're just buying into this collective belief, and that's how cults happen, man. That's how cults happen. That's how, man, God, no! Look at this. He's going full Kunta Kinte with the cashmere. He's going full on Kunta Kinte. Your name is Toby with the cashmere pullover. I didn't know it was like this. This guy. He's putting on these folks like he's riding Seabiscuit with the khaki blazer. Oh my God. I've seen this. And it is crazy. You know, it really is crazy. This kind of stuff. Because people just eat it up. And there's a lot of it, and there's a lot of the times where people look at this kind of stuff, and that's why a lot of people believe religion is crazy. Is because of stuff like this, because they believe, you know, they see this and they're like, I'm not doing this, I'm not believing this, you know? It's bananas, man. It's absolutely bananas. But that's how cults start. That's how these cults start. These cults start with people just want. It's almost always the same story. It's almost always the same story. It's almost always some lost person, some person who just isn't really in a great place in their world, isn't really in a great frame of mind, and they just kind of get sucked into this whole this you know, a community where they just roll into that community and they just attach themselves to the people, attach themselves to the family, and that's what it's all about. And then in some really awful situations, you know, those cults lead to suicide or murder or crime or stuff like that. But that's usually how it is. It's usually these people in power feeding off of people in super vulnerable states. Is usually how it goes. Usually how it goes, man. Thank you guys very, very much for hanging out with this show. Another beautiful podcast here on the James Skrmetta Show.